What's up, everyone? Hello, and welcome to Two Nerds on a Couch. I'm Beth. Today we're talking about our predictions and theories about the Fracture event and the future of Fortnite. As always, we could be right on the money with our predictions, but we could also be way off. So grab some popcorn and get comfortable as we go over these theories and predictions, starting with Midas. We firmly believe that Midas will be part of the event in some capacity. To understand why and how he will play a role in the event, we first have to look at what we currently know about him. Midas, Sloan, and several others are pictured in this photograph from a classroom setting, presumably learning about the 0 point and the loop from an IO academy. As a very intelligent individual, Midas was promoted to the Imagined Order's Doomsday Device Department, where they studied different ways to attack the 0 point and break the loop. Later on in life, Midas had 2 daughters, Jules and Marigold, both of which are very important to the storyline and our theories about Midas, but we'll revisit this in a bit. In a video that Fortnite posted on YouTube for only a couple of hours, we learned that Midas initially recruited a set of operatives called the First Shadows as his initial step in espionage. One of these recruits was none other than Chaos Agent. Chaos Agent was not only one of Midas's recruits, but also part of the Double Agent pack, where they are all gold and black or gold and white, meaning each of these characters has been touched by Midas in some way. Even on the artwork of the Fracture event, you can see Chaos Agent floating around. In Chapter 2, Season 2, we were initially introduced to Midas.
Midas, a mastermind with the golden touch.
He had several operatives at that time, all of which were part of the Imagined Order. Ghost and Shadow were the factions we could choose from, yet they were enemies of each other. Throughout that season, Midas built the Doomsday device. This culminated with an event where we saw exactly what the device could do. It pushed back the storm and temporarily paused the loop. Something malfunctioned, or it didn't have enough power, but the loop wasn't fully broken, and the island got completely flooded with Midas being eaten by a shark. According to Donald Mustard, he didn't actually die back in the Chapter 2 Season 3 trailer.
This very quick sketch of a character that I think we all love. Midas. Midas is great. And not dead.
There was further evidence of Midas being not unalived later in Chapter 2. In Season 8 of Chapter 2, Marigold became one of the NPCs around the island. If you spoke to her, this is the default message you would see. If you talked to her as Jules, she said this. But if you talk to Marigold as Midas, this alluded to there being a special plan that involved Midas, Marigold, and Jules. Fast forward to this season where Donald Mustard teases something about Midas. An unreleased spray was found by leakers, and the second part of the Paradise Quest mentions the Loop Breaker. All of these mean that Midas is coming back to save all reality from destruction. Where has he been all this time? What if we told you he's been nearby the entire time? Back in the beginning of Chapter 3, Allie saw a golden orb like the one the Cube Queen was in during Season 8.
Look. Dude, I swear down, that's gotta be the Cube Queen. The glow, the spherical glow.
But what if he was mistaken? What if it was actually Midas the whole time? What if Midas has been trying to eke out an existence outside of the loop, while sometimes actually visiting the island, as seen in the vent systems of Rave Cave, but has been on his own for a while trying to figure out how to save his daughters and the rest of the loopers? Is it possible that members of the Seven have spotted him and are trying to get him to help their cause, at least temporarily? Speaking of the 7, we haven't seen or heard from any of them besides the Paradigm since partway through Season 3 of Chapter 3. The Nothing abducted the Visitor, the Origin, and the Scientist. The Imagined is currently possibly unalived, according to the Fortnite x Marvel Zero War comics. The Order left the group to mourn her sister and take out her rage in parts unknown. And the Foundation's location is currently up for debate. With the Paradigm, Amy, and Jonesy making plans to save reality, now would be a great time for Midas to make his way back to the island alongside Chaos Agent and others in order to break the loop and move the 0 point to a safer reality. If the 0 point is being moved, let's talk about where it and loopers are going. Before we jump into this next bit, please consider booping that like button if you are excited about the Fracture event, or Chapter 4, or Creative 2.0 coming soon. Thank you so much, and let's dive back in. Where are we going next? Let's look at the teasers we currently have available to us, plus evidence from the past. Over the past week or so, Epic has been putting out several teasers about the event and the next chapter. Have you ever taken a closer look at the Fortnite trailers from the past? We've done it, and we found something that has been around for years, and we might finally be going there. In the trailer for Chapter 1 Season X, Jonesy was floating around in space. While in space, he saw many events from the past, and just beyond the clouds, you could see aspects of the future. The last reality was teased in this trailer along with a certain planet we might be going to. Fast forward a little bit to the concert event in Chapter 2, Season 2. Near the end of the concert, we were flying around in space just above our current planet. But, depending on the angle we looked in, you could possibly see that same planet that we're headed to. It's also one of the planets in this emote. In Chapter 2, Season 3, we were introduced to Siona and Dio. They might have come from the Saturn-like planet. In the Chapter 2 Season 6 opening cinematic, we spot it once again through one of the reality waves. And our final bit of evidence is that the flare ship has a Saturn-like planet painted on its outer hull. Over a year ago, Donald Mustard teased this image. In the past few days, Epic has teased these images, which all leads to the conclusion that we will be going to that Saturn-like planet. The Fortnite Islands have been named after various Greek entities. Apollo was the island of Chapter 1. Athena and Artemis, twins, were the islands of Chapter 2 and Chapter 3, respectively. Chapter 4's island is codenamed Asteria, which in Greek mythology is the aunt of Athena and Artemis. Asteria is the Greek Titan goddess of the falling stars. Fracture has several meanings in context of Fortnite. Epic has kind of been teasing this part of the storyline for several seasons. The world catching on fire from asteroids and meteors hitting, as it's seen during the Chapter 2 Season 2 concert event. The fractured world backbling, and the first ever crew pack in Chapter 2 Season 5. During the Chapter 2 finale event, while the island was flipping, we could see the amount of space between the two islands and just how fragile the center of those islands were. Between the island flipping, I.O. drilling to the Artemis side, war that left the land in tatters, the 0 point sending out massive shockwaves, the cracks in the sky, and now the hardened chrome going everywhere. It's no wonder, and no surprise, that the island is going to fracture. Now for one more prediction, but we don't really have any evidence backing this up. The visitor is either Jonesy Prime or Midas. Think about it. We've never heard the visitor. He doesn't speak. He's one of the oldest members of the 7, possibly the oldest member considering his armor compared to the others, and maybe the reason he hasn't spoken yet is because the moment he says anything, we'd know exactly who he is. We have several other theories, but honestly they couldn't fit into this particular video. We do hope to explore those ideas in the future. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel and let us know that you want to see our next set of predictions and theories about the world of Fortnite. We'll leave you with this. The island's reality is deteriorating. It is up to you to reforge it. And that's a wrap on our predictions and theories for the Fracture event and beyond. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to use code 2NerdsOnACouch in the item shop, and we'll see you next time.